Welcome to From Pain to Purpose, Processing Your Pain Life Coaching Session. So this session is for those who are truly tired of being sick and tired. I mean truly tired of being sick and tired. And I'm Coach B. Most of us, we were never taught how to process pain. I mean, many of us have heard of a life coaching session, but we've never experienced it. So if we never experienced it, that tells us that most of us have never been taught how to process pain. Well, I want you to imagine for a second unprocessed pain. What happens when pain is unprocessed? No, I mean, really think about that. If we've never had life coaching, and many haven't even received any form of therapy, but I always share that no one is exempt. I don't care if you're a life coach, I don't care if you're a therapist. No one is exempt. So that means we all need it. How dare you think that you're okay, right? How dare you think that you are not affected? How dare you think that your origin, right? Because everything starts from the origin. How dare you think that your origin, right, has no scent, right? So if we never receive life coaching, we never receive therapy, and we have unprocessed pain, what happens to that? Really think about that. To the millions of people that exist in this world, what happens to unprocessed pain? Chaos. A world full of chaos. Okay, sidebar. Think of who's governing us, our elected officials. Are you kind of now getting an idea of what's happening to unprocessed pain? What they're suffering from as we elect them into office, and they're governing our lives. Look at the world today. Look at the decisions that are being made. Look at the evil. Look at the greed. Look at the pain. All the things that are going on in this world. Unprocessed pain. There's an origin, right? And in order to provide a solution to all the negativity, you have to first be presented with the looking glass self. It starts with you. We have to be able to problem solve and critically think for ourselves. Where's my phone? There was a statement from Einstein that I saw today. One moment. Okay, here we go. The quote of the day by Albert Einstein suggests that fairy tales help develop children's intelligence by encouraging imagination and creative thinking. It highlights that intelligence is not just about facts and study, but also about the ability to think beyond reality and form new ideas. Fairy tales support this by exposing children to an imaginative world, which helps build problem-solving skills and mental flexibility over time. What have we done? We've told our youth to stop dreaming, stop imagining. Get out of your head. That will never work. We've destroyed their critical thinking. We told them that they can't. We told them to come back to reality. We have destroyed this generation. And not only that, but mentally, where are we? When you have three groups of people, right? Those that are on the left, those that are on the right, and those that are in the middle. And then you have those who are governing our lives, right? Creating division. Unaware that the division that's being created by the left and the right are truly one. But if I can convince people to take my side, and then I can convince another group to take my side, and I'm at the top, right? I'm this key turner, right? That I have in the center of your back, just twisting and twisting. If I'm convincing you to be divided when I'm really one party, I win. And who lose? The people. Because no longer can we critically think anymore. No longer can we problem solve anymore. No longer do we encourage our younger generation because of our trauma, because of the pain, unaddressed pain. Are you understanding where I'm coming from? So I can talk to you about the news every day. I can report the news and share with you what I saw, but I have no problem solving skills. I have no skills to be able to unite and say, hey, here's a plan of action that allow us all to be able to independently think for ourselves, but we operate as one so that we can build together. So this problem solving, right, this process and pain starts within yourself. If someone gave you a script and they told you how you could help the next generation, especially your child, because the way that the world is going right now, it's going to be tough. 300 million jobs expected to be lost by 2030. 4 more years. Right? Are you understanding what I mean now by processing pain? It starts with you. And everything we do is step-by-step instructions. I guarantee you, what the one party, because it's not two parties, what the one party fear is someone who knows how to critically think. And they become, let me share this, they're so powerful to where they'll have you do the dirty work for them. Because you've already been programmed to not believe. Even when you see an opportunity that makes sense. So they throw all the different scams and hustles to where you no longer believe anything. Especially when you're talking about providing a solution to an entire country. It just takes an Einstein, right? Just take an imagination. Just takes a critical thinker to be able to do it. But you can't do it until you process the pain. But if I can put pain in front of you, and that's the only thing that you're faced with, is that pain each and every day, you don't have time to think. You got to deal with family issues. You got to deal with workplace issues. You got to deal with trying to pay your bills. You got to deal with all the unaddressed trauma that you faced. We're operating under a system. But I can report the news. Well, here, we're going to be processing pain. But we're not only going to be processing pain, we're going to be providing solutions for us all to be able to do what? Work as one unit, despite the racism, despite the division, right? And if you can't remove yourself from the racism, we don't need you, right? But when you decide to join because you see that despite how you feel, because I don't care if you're racist or not, right? As long as you're not in a position to where of authority, as long as you're not in a position of authority to where you're mistreating someone else. You can be in your house and be a racist all you want to. And for those who decide to become racist, just shows how weak-minded you are. I think this is an opportunity for all of those who are not of the melanated community to stand up for the melanated community by sharing with all of those who are racist that you're no longer a part of that and you don't want to be a part of it. But because you're weak-minded and you may not know how to do that because of your own trauma, we're all weak-minded, right? I don't care who you are, we're all weak-minded because you can't live in this world and not have been affected by the system and be systematically programmed in some form or another. There's just some that's more than others, right? But this is who we are voting into office. What I'm sharing with you right now is processing your pain means that we have to cohesively look in the mirror of self-reflection, the looking glass self, and cohesively work together. And that's going to be difficult for those who have already chosen a side, and it's going to be impossible for those who are already compromised. But it's going to let us know whose side we're really on. All of this, right, from a book, because when you look at this book, we're going to offer solutions to be able to do that, a step-by-step plan of action that does that. Yeah, you're talking to someone who has an imagination. You're talking to someone who fairy tales, right? Critical thinker, problem solving. And there's nothing that you can do about it because you've been exposed. You don't care about the people. And there's nothing that you can do once you're in office because you realize that your hands are tied, but you can't say anything to the people because you enjoy the position, because you are now positioned. So people, it's going to take us. Are you ready? Are you ready for this book? Starts with this book. I want you to think for a second, and I'm going to share with you what not only are what we are experiencing, right? But I'm going to share with you what our elected officials are experiencing, right? And how now we are infected because we've been affected. This is what's happening in our world today. And we are electing individuals that cannot that are suffering mentally, unaware, because we think that they're more sane than we are. They're not. And imagine chaos, a world full of chaos. And imagine everybody pointing at everybody else. We no longer are reminded of the looking glass self. We carry it. We hide it. And some think that they're hiding it, but to many, we see it. Right? And we share it. We spread it. We affect others with it. So if you have unprocessed pain, that leads to what? I want us to think about this for a second, because we're doing this together. Before you even go into the book, we're doing this together. Anxiety. Hypertension. I'm just going to name them, right? Frustration. Any of us have those? Depression. Anger. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Any have any bipolar challenges? What about mental health struggles? Unrecognized trauma quietly creates problems in our relationships, in our families, in our workplaces, but most important, within ourselves. You gotta think about that for a second. Because one thing introduces itself to another, right? One issue introduces itself to another issue. Now you got all of these issues that's been unaddressed, right? Because they've never been identified. And because no one has ever shared with us the tools to use, right? To safely maneuver through life. Because if it's unaddressed trauma, unaddressed pain, there's no real understanding of where the pain is coming from. So what you're about to experience is more than a book. This is a vehicle. It's a tool. It's a guided experience created to help bring understanding. We need understanding as a society, as a whole. And for some who are dedicated and who are true about this, for some it's going to bring healing. Please hear me clearly. Do not open this if you're not ready, right? Because that means that you have to truly be away from, free from all the outside noise, all the distractions, any interruptions. You don't need anything pulling your attention away from what you're about to receive, or you're ready to receive this. And for the best experience, I recommend saving this session to your smart TV. I want you to look at the images on each page. The smart TV, you'll be able to see that. You deserve that. Right? If you got a PC, use the largest PC that you have. Right? If the only thing you have is an iPad or a mobile phone, that will still work. Receive this. You deserve this. Because I share with individuals that learning how to properly process your pain is no longer optional. Look at our world. Why are they not teaching this in school? Right? It's necessary now for peace of mind. Where is the peace? In our minds. So, before you begin reading, I want to introduce you to the purpose of this book and the journey that you're about to take. Enjoy. Click the center and it will link you to this journey that you're about to experience. You ready? Processing your pain, from pain to purpose.